seems, Robard, that we're running out of options.
We don't have enough men to scale the walls with ladders, and we can't afford to lose any more. We can only take Talmberg by a ruse or with superior numbers. Ruses have failed, and we don't have superior numbers.
And we are left with no choice but to build a trebuchet. To demolish my own walls. Where is Master Fafar?
He's waiting. We sent for him as soon as...
Bring him to me. Let's not waste time.
Sir Divish.
You will build me a trebuchet, Master Tobias.
Trebuchet, my lord. That's not entirely in my field of expertise.
We have to take back Talmberg.
Yes, indeed, sir, I understand that,
And
but...
you are the best engineer we can rely on in the whole fiefdom.
Oh, well, thank you, my lord, but... It's just that I've never built a trebuchet before. This could take some time.
Then you'd better get to it. Bernard will go over the plan of attack with you.
Oh.
Well, Master Tobias, you have much to do and little time. I will not keep you any longer.
Indeed. Of course, sir. Thank you, my lord.
How are the preparations proceeding in the other camps?
As well as can be expected under the circumstances. There are still many things that need doing, but I just don't have the time for them.
No, you don't. Henry.
Yes, sir.
I would like for you to help with the preparations in the encampments.
Gladly, sir.
Robard will brief you. That'll be all.
Henry, I'm glad you came. God save you, Henry. God be with you, Henry.
The Lord be praised. What brings you to me?
It's all sorted out, sir. You've no need to worry about the vicar anymore.
Excellent. Some good news at last. I've heard some pretty wild rumors from Uzhitz. So what happened there exactly?
Maybe this will surprise you, sir, but there really were heretics in Uzhitz.
Are you telling me the vicar didn't come to stick his nose in my possessions?
I don't know about that, but he definitely suspected there were heretics hereabouts, and he was right.
Christ, a man doesn't expect that sort of thing in his own fiefdom. Did you catch them?
No, they ran away. The vicar's investigation wasn't exactly low-key. Anyway, they've definitely fled beyond your estate.
Well, that's at least something. And the vicar?
He's probably hot on their heels.
Well, I hope he doesn't come back. Anyway, Henry, thanks for dealing with that vicar. You pulled a thorn from my side. Here's a little token of my gratitude.
Thank you, sir. What needs to be done?
Look, a military encampment's a complicated thing. I don't expect it to be as peaceful and orderly as Holy Mass. But what we have here now is havoc. The men are as nervous and short-tempered as caged bears. When you walk around the camps, you'll see for yourself. Grumbling everywhere, complaints about everything from the gruel to the fleas. They're moaning they've drunk the alehouse dry, and now they have to wait for the next batch of beer. We've got dead who deserve a decent burial, and a lot of wounded, including one of their lordships. The less the troops grumble, the better off we'll all be. But that's not even the main problem.
What do you mean?
Did you hear what Sir Divish was saying to Fafar, our master builder?
I heard some of it.
And what did you make of it?
He said he'd never built a trebuchet catapult. I wouldn't even know where to start, but he might.
But, if it'll take him as long as he said, we can't wait until Judgment Day. We don't have that much time.
I'll try to ask him if I can help in some way.
You should definitely do that. Without a trebuchet, we're much too weak.
How are you faring, Sir Raybard?
How do you think I'm faring, lad? There's some cutthroat thug lolling about in my bed at the castle.
Well, at least no one's raised Talmberg.
Not so far. Though we may end up doing it ourselves to smoke the bastard out.
I imagine Sir Divish isn't taking it too well.
And why do you think he handed command over to me? But it pains my heart, too. That place is my home.
What's the easiest way to take back Talmberg?
The easiest way? Call in the Royal Army and leave it to them. But there's no Royal Army to help us now, and we can't afford to wait. What's more, we don't want to destroy the castle. Personally, I'd like to return to it.
Repairing the castle would be expensive.
And time-consuming. No trebuchet is wholly on target. The missiles fly as they please. And if we blast the castle to pieces and Sigismund comes back, he'll make short work of us.
Do you think Sigismund will come back?
How do I know what's in his head? But if he doesn't take advantage of this chaos, someone else probably will. The whole country will know about it soon enough.
I'd never have thought so many people were keeping an eye on Talmberg. Like that fellow Havel.
Not only Talmberg, and we've left precious few men in Ratai. If we're defeated here, who's to stop them from pillaging the whole province? And there's no shortage of power-hungry bastards like Havel and Toth in Bohemia.
Is there some way we can get through the gate?
There are steps from the gate up to the walkway on the battlements, and I don't know how Ishtvan's covering them. Then there's the portcullis to get through. A big battering ram might breach it, but how could you get one that close? I reckon we'll have to set fire to it.
Stack up brushwood and light it?
Brushwood, timber, anything that burns, soaked in as much pitch as possible. The local charcoal burners surely have some.
And even if it doesn't burn the gate right down, it'll weaken it and make it easier to break through.
Exactly.
And what about the walls? Which side is the most vulnerable?
The south and east are solid. It would be useless to try anything there.
It's best defended from the north, and as for the west...
From the west is where we tried it, and got royally fucked, if you recall. But I think in the end we'll try that way again, only this time we'll do it better.
Pity they didn't stay holed up in Vranic for longer. It would have been much easier there.
Toth is a wily fox. If he'd had all his men with him there would have been real carnage. It's likely we only won there because he'd already gone and taken most of his best soldiers with him. Good health to you.
Is there anything else I can help with?
Well, we need some pitch. I know you had dealings with the charcoal burners.
I've met a few, true enough.
Then have a look around the area. If you manage to find any pitch, bring it to our quartermaster in the camp at the quarry.
Greetings. What do you need?
Sir Robard sent me to you. He said you have to build a trebuchet.
Indeed. A trebuchet that can smash the walls of Tamburg. I, a mining engineer. What do I know of war machines? I'll never manage it on my own.
Well, I'd like to help you, but how? I don't know anything about trebuchets either.
Actually, there is a way you could help. Conrad Keyser came to Sasso recently. If you could get him to come here, it would save my skin.
Conrad Keyser? Who's he?
He's a scholar who studied medicine, but he also designed siege engines. He even took part in the siege of Nicopolis, together with Sigismund.
You're still an engineer, though. Couldn't you build it yourself?
Are you serious? Do you know how complicated such a machine is? What forces are at work in the contraption? If we were lucky, it wouldn't fire at all. Far more likely it would smash itself to smithereens and kill lots of us instead of the enemy.
He was with Sigismund.
It's not so straightforward. They quarrelled after the battle, after Conrad blamed their defeat on Sigismund.
I don't suppose he took that too well.
Quite. That's what led to Conrad being banished from Prague and making a base at Bethlen Castle.
Banished? Like a common criminal?
He was a member of the court and a doctor and a master engineer, so nothing quite that bad befell him. I've even heard he has a whole host of wise men with him and they're writing some book together.
What's he doing here in Sasau?
They sent him over here to help with building the monastery. No doubt they had to pay handsomely to get him.
And how am I supposed to get him here? Abduct him?
Well, only if all else fails. We need his cooperation. Try having a word with him. By all accounts, he hates Sigismund.
All right, I'll do what I can.
Thank you, Henry. Maybe we will build that trebuchet after all.
How are you, Henry?
Greetings, good night. How may I serve you?
I'm looking for some pitch for Talmberg.
Already? What happened to the last lot we supplied?
I don't know, and it doesn't matter. Do you have any, or don't you?
I do. I had a buyer lined up, but it's been a while since he showed his face. What do you need it for?
Talmberg's been taken by a horde of brigands, so we're laying siege to it. We could use some pitch.
Christ blood. I hadn't heard the news. All right, it's all yours. You gave us a hand with that ginger when we needed it, and if it's for Sir Divish, I know my duty. If you want to haul it away yourself, feel free, or I can get someone to deliver it to you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Greetings, good night. How may I serve you?
How are the men holding up?
They're a rabble. The out-of-towners are desperate to go home. And the locals, they've got nowhere else to go. So they're just generally complaining.
Are they causing trouble?
No trouble as such. It's true I've caught a few of them asleep on their watch. There's nothing a couple of lashes of the whip can't cure.
Well, there might be a simpler solution.
Whipping a man, simple enough. Just give one of them a beating, the others will remember. And when they forget, do it again.
But then you'd have an injured soldier. It occurred to me a herbal potion might do the trick.
I never heard of any wives' quackery helping troop morale. But Christ knows they could do with something to flush the booze out of them and keep their eyes open.
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
The charcoal burners nearby have some stocks of pitch they'll let us have.
That's handy. Sir Rubard will be pleased. What little we had left was running out, and he was getting worried.
Well, he can stop worrying.
Good. I'll get someone to take care of it.
How are we doing with the food?
Who wants to know? One of their lordships?
No, I just wondered if there was anything you're short of.
Oh, I see. The lordling is wondering if we're in urgent need of anything. Well. To tell the truth, we don't have much meat. They bring it round often enough, but never as much as they should.
Yes, I've heard something like that.
I'll say. Every other man's moaning on about it. The gamekeepers are doing all they can, but they can't keep up. So if you know how to help them out, bring it right here. I'll take care of the rest.
Fine, I'll keep that in mind. Do we have any beer?
Christ, I wish we did. Our ale's all gone, and we've drained the local inn dry.
That's bad news.
Don't I know it? You can't go and catch a beer in the woods, either. But if you happen to know about some, let's hear it. News like that'd refresh me almost as much as a drink. And the lads, too.
Be a bit more careful.
God be with you.
I need to bring a few kegs of beer back to Talmberg.
I've hardly any beer left, but I've got a lot of goat's milk. You think that might lift their spirits?
God be with you.
I brought you some meat.
Stack it over here.
That's the lot.
Good. Well, thanks very much. And when you've got more, feel free to stop by. You won't be unwelcome. Oh yes, and here's a little something for the trip.